Yo, everyone. Hope you are having a great morning, evening, whenever you are watching this. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Cartere from jaycartere.com, teaching you how to be better at YouTube marketing, online business, and music production. Music, a bunch of stuff around music. We're really going to get into music over the next couple months. But in this video, I want to talk about ownership. I want to talk about ownership because I believe it's so important for me to get this mindset out there and to try and help you move away from what many creatives do, which is influencers generally, and people who build an audience, they generally try to be the middleman. They try to get they try to build their audience to a place where other people will come in and pay them for their audience, basically. And that's not really focusing on ownership. That's focusing on pimping your audience out. That ain't really the smartest way to move forward. Like, you can promote stuff to your audience, sure. But if that's your only business model, then that's not smart. It's not smart because you see those other companies, they're going to be making way more money than you are because they understand, yo, I'm selling something to people who want this thing. But that's another thing. I want to talk about, the ownership of owning your content, your audience, your space, your real estate on the internet. Like, these are very important things that I don't see a lot of creatives out there doing. I see a lot of people leaving money on the table, but also control and security on the table, which is, very important. Now, I want to quickly give you an example of a situation where not knowing about ownership can really hurt you. Now, a while ago, it was very common in the music industry for artists to sign a record deal and sign away possession of their master recordings. Now, what this means is that basically when these master recordings are then sold in the future and reproduced and sold, those artists don't get a percentage of those of that recording being sold generally, but sometimes they do. It depends on the contract, innit? Like, sometimes they have a really small percentage, or they'll get a royalty regardless of not actually owning the actual recordings. But then that company can sell those recordings to a next man, because that's how, like, Michael Jackson bought up the Beatles recordings and all this sort of stuff. I think he bought Prince's master recordings, but you can see the artists that actually made those recordings didn't own their master recordings, so they're not able to then move that property around and do with it what they will, and next man's got the ownership to that, and they can go and do whatever they want. And that's a very terrible position to put yourself in, because the people who own the actual recordings, those are the people that benefit the most down the line. And if you look at record labels, you can see the business model. The business model for most record labels, or major record labels, if we're talking about that, is to just build catalog. It's to build catalog and have a good enough catalog that your catalog continues to make you money, so that you can invest in new artists and try things out, try things that work, try things that don't work. But you have a strong catalog that houses a lot of records that consistently sell, so you can continue to make money and all that sort of stuff. And the larger your catalog gets, because you're signing new artists all the time, you're taking their masters because they're signing terrible deals because they don't understand that they should own their own music and whatnot. And then you're building your catalog. You're building your catalog because people will be, listening to the music that was created 7 years ago or whatever. You can continue making money from that. So why do I want to talk about ownership? I want to talk about ownership because it's very important for a creative like yourself to think and consider what position you're putting yourself in and what's most beneficial to you. Now, especially in, like, the black community and stuff, we give away a lot of our ownership and then we wonder why we're broke at the end of the day. You don't own shit, cuz. you rented that and then gave it away. Like, come on. You need to think about the long term. The long term is very important, and it's very advantageous when you think about the long term and you move forward in that sort of direction, you'll see the results over the long term. Now, there are a few things that you need to do as a creative in order to have more ownership over your career, over your future. Now, owning your creative content is like the first step. And generally, if you put up creative content online, you own it, innit? Unless you're using copyrighted material or you're uploading it to a certain site that has something in its terms and conditions that says if you upload it here, you don't own it, which you should probably be looking into depending on what you're trying to do. But maybe that's just promotional content to promote something else down the line. It depends. But owning the copyright to your content, very, very important. Very, very important stuff that you should be thinking about. Do I own the copyright to this content? Have I used someone else's content in order to make this content? And have I licensed this content to someone else? Am I signing over the rights to someone else? Why would you sign over the rights to someone else? Is it an advantageous deal? All that sort of stuff is things that we could get in deeper in like specific videos, but just know that ownership is important, isn't it? Owning your content is very, very important, because if you make something today, yeah, you can make money from that 30 years from now. That can still be bringing value to people and bringing value to you 30 years from now. So if you sell that to someone else because you're like, I just want the money today, you might be putting yourself in a terrible position 30 years from now. You might be selling yourself short. You might look back in 30 years and be like, I shouldn't have sold that. Shouldn't have done that because that was silly. That was silly. And another thing you want to think about is, do you own your audience? Like, there's all these social media sites, and I've talked about this again and again, and I'll continue to talk about it. Social media sites don't care about you, cuz they care about keeping people on the social media site. Like, Twitter cares about keeping people on Twitter. YouTube cares about keeping people on YouTube. They don't care about you specifically serving your audience. That's great, you serving your audience, as long as it keeps them on the platform, basically. And the way these platforms work is they won't show every post that you put out to the whole of your audience. They're only going to show it to a percentage of them. And if they interact, then yeah, maybe they might push it out to the rest of them or whatever. Like, just because you've got 100,000 followers does not mean 100,000 people are seeing every post that you make. You need to understand that. And the platforms can at any point choose when they show your stuff to your followers, and they change these things over time. And they can kick you off if you do something and they're like, we don't like that. They can be like, get out of here. And they can get rid of you. They can get rid of you and silence you and put you elsewhere. And then what are you going to do? Like, that's this terrible position to be in. So you need to be thinking about owning that communication channel with your audience. And the way you do that is you build an email list. That's why I've made so many videos on building an email list and why it's important for creators and stuff like that. Definitely go and check out those videos, because when you build an email list, you actually have ownership of your audience. You can then export that email list from your email provider and go wherever you want with that email list. You could even use Gmail and email all the people on the email list, which I highly wouldn't suggest, but it's possible, innit? You could do that. When you got the email list, you've got that direct communication with your audience. And when people see an email, yeah, that's getting through like 4 layers of BS. If someone's on Twitter or on another social, now let's just use Twitter because it's easier than me saying, all the social networks. Let's say someone's on Twitter, they're scrolling. You've posted a link to your latest video. Okay. They might check it out. They might favorite it. They might like it or whatever. Or favorite's gone. They might like it. They might bookmark it. But they might as easily just continue scrolling because there's a bunch of stuff on Twitter. There's a lot of competition there. In the email inbox, there's a lot less competition and you stand out more. Especially if you're giving consistent value to this person and you're building that relationship, you're more likely to check out what you're sending them. And think of the email as kind of like your own personal notification squad. So instead of relying on Twitter notifications or YouTube notifications or Instagram notifications, you can notify your audience. And the people who are most interested in you, your inner circle will join your email list. If you want to join my email list, sign up to my free course. Go to jaycartere.com/free course. Sign up to that. And you'll get added to my daily email list where I'll teach you about, YouTube marketing, online business, and music production, that sort of stuff. And it's very, very, I put out a lot of gems, innit? I'm out here dropping the gems on a daily basis, and I'm keeping you updated with content that you want, innit? Like, if you don't want it, you'll skip the email, but you have the choice to get that there, and you don't have to worry on the YouTube algorithm or Twitter algorithm that might not send you the stuff that you signed up for, basically. So definitely want an email list, but even before you could have an email list before the next part. But I would suggest having the next part before the email list. But it doesn't matter. It depends on where you're at in it and what you're trying to do. The third thing you want to think about is your website. Having a website is very, very important. Because having a website means you have your own piece of internet real estate, basically. You have somewhere where you can send people instead of, hey, follow me on Twitter. Hey, follow me on Instagram. Hey, subscribe on YouTube. No. Go to my website. That's where everything is. That's where I've got my bio. That's where I've got my press pictures. That's where I've got all the information for you to understand who I am. That's where I'm going to link you to the things that I'm selling so that you can actually buy something from me. Like, having a website is very, very important, but it also depends what your goal for the website is. Now, I highly suggest that everyone's main goal for the website, if it's not to sell something, like if it's to sell something, then that should be a main goal, innit? But if you don't have something to sell yet, or you're selling something that's a very high value item, like you're charging, I don't know, $400, $200 and upwards for that, then the main goal of your website at first should be to convert traffic into email subscribers. So anyone who comes to your website, you should be trying to get them on your email list, yeah? And then from there, you can then sell to them down the line. You can tell them about the things that you're selling and all that sort of stuff. But you've got them on your email list so you can consistently stay in touch with them. Instead of, let's say, you got a Twitter following, yeah? Or you got a YouTube following, whatever. Let's say you're on YouTube, because I've used Twitter as an example before. You're on YouTube, you've grown your subscriber base to 2,000 subscribers or whatever. And you're thinking about selling something on your website. Great stuff. You put up a website and it's just about the product. Like, you're just selling the product. Let's say you send 100 people to that website. If you're lucky, 2 of those people are going to buy that product. 97 people are just going to leave, yeah? Those 97 people, you might never get in touch with them again. They might not be a subscriber. They might have just viewed your video once or whatever. They might never go back to your website again. A better situation would be for you to give something away for free to your that your perfect target customer would want. For example, I'm going to be giving away free beats on jaycartere.com. You'll see that happening soon. I just need to produce a bunch more beats. But I'm going to be giving away free beats, and then people who are interested in buying beats, who need beats for products, artists and creatives and rappers and singers, they'll sign up for that, yeah? And I'll get their email address, which will allow me to be able to sell them beats over time and let them know about the new beats and new stuff, and just help them with their career. Because I'll be like, yo, do this instead of that. Stop doing this. Like, this is, how you market your music and all that sort of stuff. I'll be sharing the jewels, innit? So they know that when they check their email, they're going to be getting a bunch of useful things from me. So they're more likely to check my emails, and then when I want to sell them something or want to promote something, they're more likely to check those. And instead of 97 people just leaving and me never getting in touch with them again, maybe it's like 70. Maybe it's depending on your conversion rate, innit? Depending on your copywriting skills and all that sort of stuff. But you'll get a few of them. You'll get more than just the people who are going to buy, because it's less of a commitment. You don't have to actually take out any money and spend any money at that point in time. And then you have the ability to get back in touch with those people, which is very, very important. Now, you don't have to spend extra ad money. You don't have to hope that the social media network that you're using puts your content in front of these people. You don't have to, rely on the algorithm or anything like that. You're able to just send them an email and stay in touch with them. And that's very, very powerful. Like, your email list is the most powerful thing you have. That is the only audience that is actually yours, and you own it, because no one can take that away from you. No one. Not even the email provider that you use, because I'm pretty sure you can still export your CSV file and go to somewhere else. If you're doing that on a weekly basis, then even if they say, no, we don't want you email marketing with us anymore, you'll still be able to just go elsewhere, innit? So yeah, get your email list. Get your email list popping, man. It's so, so important, because it just gives you the ability to continue talking to that person. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to post on social media to get in front of someone, or you have to spend advertising money to get in front of someone. That's a terrible place to be. And every time you're doing that, you should be trying to push that person to get on your email list, so that you don't have to do that sort of shit to get in front of them every time. You can just go to your email list. And as you do that, and as you start to funnel everyone, all the traffic that you get, you start to funnel that into your email list, and you start building your email list. That's when you start building your real fan base, and you start seeing your real core fan base, and you start delivering consistent value to them, and you start building that relationship. Is so, so important. And you start owning your audience. And now when you put out another song or another video, you're able to drive traffic there from people that actually want to hear about that and actually care about that sort of stuff. So own your content, yeah? Get your website up and running, which is very, very important. Get your website up and running so that you have a place on the internet that you own. If you get kicked off any of the social media sites, people can find you on your website, and they can find the content that you're making on your website. Maybe you're posting blogs, maybe you're posting podcasts, maybe you're posting videos, whatever. That should be able to be found on your website, okay? And then third of all, have an email list. You definitely need to have the email list so that you can own your audience. You own your connection with your audience. You own your communication with your audience. These are the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars, cuz. Do not be relying on Instagram. Do not be relying on Twitter. Do not be relying on YouTube. You need ownership. If you do not have ownership, then at any point in time when these platforms change and they start doing something that doesn't vibe with what you're trying to do, you're going to be super upset, and you're going to be crying out here. Now you're going to be scrambling, trying to change things out, trying to fix things, trying to get things moving, when really you could have just set all this stuff up in the beginning and been fine, like just been cruising, like, ooh, okay, them man are changing stuff, is it? Okay. Well, I got my email list. Did you not know about that? What, you don't have an email list? Wow, what a shame. What a shame. You should probably get an email list, cuz. Yeah. I've been talking about it for like 3 years, but no one's got email lists now, so I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. What? YouTube isn't showing your videos to your subscribers? Huh? You're getting less views over time? Huh? Is that what's happening? Huh? You didn't know about that? I didn't make a video last year about that? Huh? Maybe you should have an email list, cuz. See, get the email list. Do it. And if you want to join my email list and learn the 5 most important steps to YouTube success, as I said, go to jaycartere.com/free course. It's going to teach you how I stopped being a starving artist, how I went from being broke, basically, I was broke as fuck, to being able to achieve financial freedom and do what I want now. Now I'm going to be pursuing music for the rest of the year, and focusing on that. As far as I might deal with my do the next course for creatives this year or next year. I don't 100% know, but really I'm gonna focus on my thing, innit? I'm still gonna put out the content to help creatives like you and other artists that want to learn from what I know and put out the marketing knowledge and all that sort of stuff. But my focus moving forward is going to be on the music stuff. Definitely I'm going to be focusing on the music stuff. Because I just want to build my thing, innit? I want to build my thing, and then I'm going to tell you how it worked how you can do it and all that sort of stuff, and share the information that I've got along the way and keep that moving. But it's time for me to, put some time into my own thing and focus on myself and focus on doing... Because like the Grow on YouTube stuff is for you, it's for everyone else, it's for helping the world and helping better people and them doing their own stuff. But I want to do my stuff for a little bit. I'll still do the Grow on YouTube stuff. I'll still be helping other creatives and all that sort of stuff, definitely. But mainly, if you want that content, pay for it. Join the course, join the course, and you'll get that access to me, and I'll just make the videos you need in it. And you'll find basically all the stuff you need in the course, but it's not necessary for me to be pumping out the free content that I'd be pumping out, because I've put enough out there. To be honest, I've built the catalog. I've got so many videos that you can go through at this point that will teach you so much to get you to where you need to get to. So I feel comfortable in just pumping out a bunch of music stuff and just focusing on my own thing for a while. But I'll still keep the daily videos, keep the vlogs, keep the information coming, keep the whole point is that I use these vlogs and use this opportunity to share information with you that's going to help you get to where you want to get to. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll continue to share online business videos and all that sort of stuff. So don't worry about that. But a bunch of music's coming your way, cuz you're going to see me chasing my dreams, chasing my goals, and showing you what I've done and showing you how it's done and showing you how you can move forward consistently and do it, because that's what I do. I pick a goal and I get tunnel vision and I move forward and I complete it, And if you've watched my channel or you've seen me go after anything on this channel, you'll understand that, and I want to show you that, I'm moving on to something else now, and that's what I'm going to do. Plus, my Arc PS4 server stuff, as I talked about before, I own that, I own the site and whatnot, but I don't own Arc. I don't own that, so anything can happen to that. I want to focus on building my music up to be a main income stream, because I can own that. I can own my music. I can make it from scratch and own that. I can't own Arc and, them dealing with all that sort of stuff. I don't like having income streams that rely on other things or other people or anything like that, because that's very, very risky. It's very risky business, and this is what I'm trying to get you away from. I'm trying to get you towards ownership and not doing risky business, basically. Own your thing, bruv. Own your thing, because you deserve to... Well, let me not tell you deserve anything, because you don't deserve shit, and you shouldn't ever believe that you deserve anything. But if you make something, you should try to keep ownership of it, basically. But I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, peace out.